since the British man, who is 19 years old, and has not been seen since he attempted to walk through the treacherous and steep terrain of northern Tenerife, has not been seen. Here we take a look at the questions that remain after the police have concluded their investigation. Tenerife police have decided to call off their search for Jay Slater, a British teenager who has been missing for nearly 2 weeks. The search was called off on Sunday. The young man, who is 19 years old and from Oswald Twistle, which is located close to Blackburn in Lancashire, was last seen on Monday, June 17. He had informed a friend that he intended to walk from the town of Masca, which is located in the northern part of the county, to his vacation home in Los Cristianos, which is located in the south. This route would take 11 hours on foot. Despite the fact that Mr. Slater attempted to walk through the treacherous and perilous mountainous terrain of northern Tenerife, it is possible that the circumstances surrounding his death will never be known. However, thorough searches have been conducted, and there has been no trace of a body or any other clear clues as to where he ended up. The most significant question, of course, is what happened to him. However, there have been no other apparent clues either. There are still further doubts. Here, we take a look at the most important questions that have not yet been solved. In the northern part of Tenerife, he traveled with a group of 3 males. Mr. Slater and his friends were on vacation in Tenerife when they made the decision to go to the NRG Music Festival, which was held in Playa de las Americas, which is a popular tourist destination located in the southern part of the island. The journalist Isla Trackware conducted an interview with Bradley Hargreaves, who is a friend of Mr. Slater. She reported that Mr. Slater and his companions had talked to the 2 men around 3 days prior to his disappearance, and that they had gotten along well with them. "It wasn't 2 random people he'd met that night," she said to me. "They'd established a friendship, and Brad said they seemed like really cool guys." She explained that Mr. Slater had returned to the Airbnb with the other males because he was just not ready for his night to end. Trackware subsequently stated, however, he did communicate to his friends via phone calls or texts, saying, "Oh, these guys have just gone to bed, maybe I'll just come back." Mr. Slater sent a snapshot of himself on Snapchat around 7:30 a.m. on the morning that he went missing. The photo showed him surrounded by colorful fabric. Trackware stated that Mr. Hargreaves had informed her that Mr. Slater had shown him the cloth during a phone call, and that it was a blanket that the men had given him for a bed that they had put up for him during the call. For the last time, Ofelia Medina Hernandez, a resident of Masca, was the last person to meet Mr. Slater in person. The proprietor of the cafe stated that she conveyed to the young man that a bus was scheduled to arrive at 10 o'clock in the morning on the day that he went missing. On the other hand, she stated that he started walking, and that she subsequently drove by him while he was walking quickly. In a phone contact that took place at approximately 8:30 in the morning, Mr. Slater informed his acquaintance Lucy Law that he was walking back to his lodgings because he had missed a bus. There is a lack of clarity regarding whether or not the adolescent ever attempted to go back to the bus stop before he vanished. When he told Miss Law that he only had 1% of his battery left, he meant that it would have been too late for him to call a taxi in the event that he became disoriented. According to Miss Law, Mr. Slater is not a stupid boy, and would have hailed down a passing automobile if he had seen one. She made this statement to Sky News. As a result of the fact that the temperature was approximately 26 degrees Celsius, and the location of Masca is situated in a rough, lonely, and steep region, Mr. Slater was faced with the challenge of walking back to his lodging on foot. The particular path that the adolescent took is, of course, unknown, but it is evident that he made the decision to go across more difficult terrain rather than continue on the road. In a phone conversation, Miss Law reported that Mr. Slater had informed her that he had cut his leg on a cactus. When she instructed him to go back to the location from which he had walked, he responded that he was unable to recall the location. He lacked both food and drink, and he was dressed in no more than a t-shirt and shorts. In an interview with ITV's This Morning on Friday, June 28, Mr. Hargreaves stated that he had video chats with the 19-year-old participant as he was attempting to get back to Los Cristianos. he witnessed the adolescent's feet sliding on rocks, according to Mr. Hargreaves, who stated that the boy had off the road. In addition, he mentioned that Mr. Slater experienced a little drop during one of his most recent video chats. "Take a look at where I am," he remarked. Mr. Hargreaves stated that he did not appear anxious while speaking on the phone until we were aware of how far away he was. "I instructed you to turn on your location. 15 minutes by car, 14 hours by foot," he said. "I don't know if it's true or not," so I told him, "It's only a 15-minute drive, get a taxi." However, I know that it's not true. The last time Mr. Slater's phone made a call was in rural Destino Park, which is located in the northern part of Tenerife, before the battery died. A fuzzy image of what his family believes could be the missing adolescent was captured on surveillance footage in a town close to Mascot 10 hours after he was reported missing for the first time. This photograph was provided by Mr. Slater's family about 1 week after he was last seen. It was not possible for Sky News to determine where the picture originated from. Despite the fact that the sighting has not been confirmed by Spanish authorities, Mr. Slater's parents were holding out hope that it could assist in bringing their son down to earth. The mayor of Santiago del Teide, which is located on the island of Tenerife and is the location where it was said that the CCTV still was captured, later stated that he did not believe the image was from that location. Who is depicted in the still image and where it was taken are both unknown at this time. The search for Mr. Slater was conducted by law enforcement and mountain rescue teams for close to 2 weeks before it was finally called off on Sunday, June 30. A number of different types of people, including firefighters, sniffer dogs, drones, and helicopters, participated in the search. At this time, the police have not disclosed whether they have a particular explanation for their decision to cease their search for Mr. Slater. A spokesman for the Civil Guard stated that although the search operation has been terminated, the investigation into the case is still ongoing and there are other avenues of inquiry going into it. She concluded by saying, "The search has gone on for many days because it is a rocky area that is hard to access." Emilio Navarro, the mayor of Santiago del Teide, has supported the decision, despite the fact that detectives have been accused of stopping their operations too soon. He stated that according to Sky News, a magnificent job has been done by the Civil Guard, in addition to saying until last week, many resources were allocated to the search. Climber and social media sensation Paul Arnott, who hails from the United Kingdom, is continuing his search for the rugged terrain. PR stunt is what he has described the final police search that took place on Saturday, which included a request for volunteers to assist professionals in their hunt. He has pledged to continue the search,